Iron palm, iron fist. Yes, sir. Ditta Jiao, yeah. Yeah, I use the medicine, of course. I have some playlists if you want to check out how to make your own Ditta Jiao. Yes, I do Qigong. No, I don't have mung beans. I have marble. Pea-sized marble. What they call gravel marble. Yeah. But if you want to start iron palm training, I have playlists. You can go check out how to start iron palm training. Thanks for the likes, appreciate it. The bag material is cotton, but it's what's inside the bag. Monkey Kung Fu. Oh, nice. Southern Mantis. That's cool. Yeah, with the Southern Mantis, they hit with the wrist and the back fist, so that has to be conditioned as well, right? Thanks for the likes. Appreciate it. Even the hammer fist, it has to be conditioned too. What did that Jow? I have my own formula that I received from my Sifu. It has over 30 ingredients, 25, 30 ingredients. But again, it depends on your level. So if you want to start iron palm training, I have playlists on my channel. You can go check it out. And then I have a video how to make your own liniment, a basic liniment, if you're at the beginner stage. Yeah, no problem. No, I don't get cysts. No, not daily. Maybe 4 to 5 days out of the week at this level. No, it's a fake rock. You caught me. You can't do steel shot. I have to ask you, how do you go from mung beans and you don't even hit wood or stone and then you go to steel shots? You can do whatever you want. I'm just letting you know, if you don't have the medicine especially, you will incur damage to yourself. Someone said soft rock. This is a granite stone, brother. It's not even a river rock or river stone. More door. Mr. French Fries, you don't even do conditioning. I don't know why you're talking and giving advice. Somebody that doesn't even do iron palm training. And Mr. Ricardo, please seek therapy, brother. I'm not a therapist. Imagine having a channel with no videos. Yeah. This is part of traditional kung fu. If you train a complete system, that they will give you iron palm training. If you train a hybrid system, you may not have it. Yeah, monkey kung fu. That's it. Jiang Yushan. You're speaking about Sifu Jiang Yushan. Mr. LH, I'm glad you feel much better. I hope you have a great day. No one's reading your paragraph, Matt. Put that finger energy to better use, brother. If you want to start iron palm training, check out my playlist. I have free content. Basic level, beginner level, which will still yield great benefits. If you want to understand more about iron palm, go check out the playlist. Dario. Interesting. I trained with a guy called Dario before. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Appreciate it, brother. If you want to start iron palm training, go check out my playlist. Unless you're already training iron palm, it will give you good benefits. And it won't cause damage. Wing Chun punching bag is good, but it depends what are you filling it with. I have the Wing Chun bag as well. Hold on, Dario. You're training Wing Chun? Where are you from? Are you from Canada? Hebrew OK07. Fake rock. Fake rock, yeah. My bag full of sand. Sand is good level, of course. But again, you start with different elements depending on your level, depending on your medicine access. Shout me out, G-Dog. Oh, you're from Italy, okay. My bad. When I started Wing Chun, I trained with a guy called Dario, that's why I asked you. That was over 13 years ago. It doesn't hurt like how people think. If it hurt, I couldn't do this 4 or 5 days out of the week. Meaning, like, if it hurt with nerve pain, sharp cutting pain, I wouldn't do it. But the fact that I feel the sensation lets me know that the nerves aren't dead, because we're not trying to kill nerves. It almost feels like an echo of pain, like there's bubble wrap around, which is your bio armor. I already made a video about that. You can't fake this, right? Like, if I'm hurting, I'm not gonna keep doing this, and then the next day my hand is all crumpled up. You guys can check my lives. I do this every week. Mung beans, exactly. Mung beans or rice. That's where you start. But again, you can't go to steel shots, guys, because it goes by elements. 5 elements, right? So you have to go with what the garden offers. Mung beans, he said, chickpeas, rice, and then you go to sand, right? Sandbag. Then you can start hitting wood, okay? Bamboo, teak wood, oak. You keep building. Then you go to the earth element. The final element is iron, right, or steel, which is just a mix of carbon, right? Yeah, I'm glad you feel better after that. I'm glad I made your day. Uh, I never noticed the trolls' names are so weird. Somewhere deep down, they're lacking substance. Do you know Makiwara? Of course. Of course I know Makiwara. I'm not a boxer, no, but I love boxing. That's the last thing I started learning. So when people make fun of my boxing, it's okay, because I'm not a boxer. No, not Wing Chun. I started with Wing Chun, but that's not my go-to. It doesn't offer that much. I'm sorry. I know that that breaks a lot of people's hearts. But if you're being real with yourself, then you know that Wing Chun has a lot of pride in it. Okay, they look down on, for example, boxers, and they've never even sparred with a boxer. They don't know how the tempo and rhythm is. I'm in Canada, and my teacher is from Taiwan, but I've trained here in gyms as well. Muay Thai, BJJ, Sambo, Jeet Kune Do. That dude standing there. Can you use a bag of full rice? Of course, that's where you start. Rudy, if you want to start Iron Palm, check out my playlist. I have free content. You can go check it out. It's on repeat. Not sure what's on repeat. But again, you don't have to do this. See, people think you have to do this. But at the same time, you should build your vessel, your musculoskeletal vessel, right? That's why you have a thing called boxer fracture, right? A lot of boxers, even the fingers are very delicate. So the fingers, the knuckles here, all this is very delicate. The wrist, of course, we know is very delicate. I am happy. Thanks for that care. Amateur MMA fighter for the Marines. Nice. 6 amateur, 3-3. As a bouncer, I can also tell you, brother. Yeah, you know the. that's where you encounter some of the worst in humanity. And then you can really know what works and what doesn't work as well in short combat distance. That's why I don't even cater to a lot of the parasitic comments. I just block you. Because a lot of you people don't even know what it's like to actually have somebody roll up on you. Maybe 2 people. You don't even know what it's like for someone to pull a knife on you. You've never felt that stimulation. Ever heard of Bagua Zhang? Of course, Bagua is an amazing martial art. I've never trained it. But it's a very powerful art. Those guys have shins for forearms. And again, people asking why I'm doing palm, because you have a palm strike. Trust me, I've had a knife pulled on me and it got in my face. Yeah, then you know what it's like. Then it doesn't apply to you. I'm talking about people that type and just type and type. They've never even punched someone in the face, and they don't know what it's like to get hit as well. John Danaher. Oh, nice. Yeah, he's high level. High level. So you know, Sandman. That's beautiful. Because I have a lot of guys come here, MMA, boxers, they talk crap. But again, like I said, build the vessel. Guys, do your knuckle push-ups, fingertip push-ups, wrist push-ups. If you don't believe me, I have my recent shorts. That is the basic. To not incur some kind of fracture, ligament damage, you know, capillary, all kinds of damage. I'm about to street life too. Kids rolling around with blades nowadays. Yeah, that's the thing. Thank you from England, brother James. Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, you never know who you're fighting. You never know what they have. Thank you. Appreciate that, Sandman. Appreciate it. Manchester, nice. Got some internationals. Like I said, people don't know that a quick headbutt can just end the fight. But it depends where you headbutt. If you have your back fist condition, a quick hit to the corner of the eye can work faster than a jab. Yeah, but it has to be conditioned. I know about England and its danger in general, especially South London. But that whole place is turning out like that movie Children of Men. I'm being for real. But we're not so different here in Canada as well, especially in Ontario. But bail reform is out of control, all kinds of craziness happening. Does strengthening the forearm help in punching power? Not punching power, but guess what? If you have a good forearm, here as well, this is the bone, obviously this hurts more, and even the inside, you can use this to hit someone. Okay, clothesline. And of course, this is used for blocking. Okay, like in Muay Thai, the original Muay Baran, they have a fist out. Okay, for hooks or overhands. So if somebody hits that part really 2 times, 3 times, they're gonna think twice again. Yeah, Ontario, Southwest Ontario. Ontario is a whole joke, and Canada is just, it's in a crisis. You have people going to food banks, and food banks don't even have the resources to help them. How's it going? Only one. Good to see you again, bro. I'm good. I'm good, brother. Another day. That's not completely true, but the fact that there was a 10-year mass immigration policy didn't help it at all. And now it's just a big mess. But again, that's Hegelian dialect policy, government policy. Mr. Kenny, you can't even do decline knuckle push-ups. I don't know why you have the courage to type, brother. Please focus on your own life. My teacher's style, so he's a monkey kung fu master, what they call Ho Chuan Min, yeah. But he has, of course, experience with basic karate, sanda, kickboxing, okay. And then he's also an internal martial arts expert. He knows Bagua Zhang, he knows Tai Chi Chuan, Qigong. He's a very high-level master. And just when I hit my plateau of striking, okay, because when you, from 1 to 3 years, you know this, you can vouch. In 3 years, if you train, I'm talking about dedicated, not a weekend boxer or kickboxer. I'm talking about you train 5 days. For 3 years, you have striking. You're a good striker already. Okay, you spar, you do heavy bag, you do pad work, you do your road work, you do your jump rope, you do your conditioning. You can be a high-level striker in 3 years if you dedicate yourself. Okay, some people take 6 years. But then you hit a plateau. What else can you do, right? So that's where the internal alchemy comes in. Taoism, Qigong, okay? Building your body machine, right? Stretching your tendons, developing your fascia system, your muscle fascia, okay? These are things that take you above the plateau, you know? And of course, you have grappling. That takes more. I'm not saying you're going to master that in 3 or 6 years, right? We know how long it takes to get your black belt generally, right? For some people, it's 8 years. Most people, it's 10 years. But that's if you make it without surgeries. That's another thing. That's why I love Qigong. I can't stress that enough. The Badwanjing, which is muscle tendon pulling, right? You pull and stretch your tendons in your joints. And then yin jin jing, which is muscle sinew changing or tendon changing, where you completely develop your sinews and your tendons to a very high level. Fascia, fascia. Clearly you understood what I meant. You can get a 100% cotton bag on Amazon. I mean, I have various ones. This one for me works best. This is called a muslin, M-U-S-S-L-I-N. Okay, so this is just a basic muslin bag. You have these ones as well, which are wall bags. But again, if you watched my video, I already mentioned, if you can't find a bag, yes, muslin. If you can't find a bag, you can use a 100% cotton t-shirt, you know, at the end of the day. Meditation, internal arts like Tai Chi have helped me with PTSD. Of course. And that's the thing. Sifu Zhang Yushan, he was in the military as well. He was in the German Special Forces. He was a bodyguard as well in Taiwan. So he's been through traumatic experiences as well, right? So that's why I say meditation, Qigong, you mentioned Tai Chi Chuan. These things clear your mind, okay? They get rid of that negative trauma, right? A lot of people don't know that their trauma is stored in their spine, right? That's why you have exercises where you stand. You do certain exercises where you just stand. It's called standing like a stake or standing like a tree or a pole, yeah? And then you start shaking uncontrollably, involuntarily, because all the trauma is in your central nervous system, your spine, and you start shaking to release the trauma. People don't know that they have stored emotions in them, right? So again, when you have strange thinking patterns, okay, you have dirty thoughts, you know, nightmares, night terrors. These are signs of trauma that has not been healed. This is where Qigong comes in. Tie it up. Tie it up. You might have to double. Actually, no, because it's rice. Yeah, rice or beans, it's not gonna, yeah, you'll be fine. Just tie it up. But again, if you want to look for the bag, they're not that much either. You know, they're on Amazon. You can get a pack of 6. So. Oh, you learned Xingyi. Yes, that's another one I know. I love Xingyi. That's the real one. That thing really works your mind. How long did you stand for? Because that's the process, you know. First 5 minutes is already an accomplishment. Then you go to, you know, 15 minutes. Then you do your half an hour. You're like, oh my goodness. It's like torture because you're standing still. And to people, they think you're just standing still. But there's so many things happening. Sometimes repressed memories come up. Right? Sometimes traumatic experiences come up. Things that you hid for so long, they come up. Because they're being released at that moment. And that's a whole different thing. That standing meditation, that's what it's really called, standing meditation. There are so many things happening internally. So many things. But that's cool that you know Xingyi. I know some Xingyi as well from the same Sifu. Right? But he teaches monkey Shiniba, yeah? So they have the squatting monkey, Danho Shu, and the 5 elements Shiniba. Various other stances as well. But Shiniba is very high level. Training the mind is one of the hardest things. I mean, really whipping it into order, you know? When it wants to run wild, that's a different beast, man. That's what it means. Shiniba. Shin means heart and Yi means mind or intent. Right? Yeah, that's facts. Ah, gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Did you practice the Santi Shi? Or did you practice the squatting monkey as well? A lot of masters, yeah, they charge. Yeah, it depends. I know. That's why I don't. People that train with me, I don't charge up the yin yang because I understand. But again, there's levels, right? Because a lot of this stuff, it is old treasure. It's hidden behind closed doors. And when you see a master have the diamond finger, meaning he can break a solid brick with the index finger, you know that this master has something. That's not common at all. Well, they call it the diamond finger, or diamond palm, or diamond fist, because the diamond is the hardest, hardest thing, right? Substance, element. Yeah, I've sparred. Of course, I've sparred. When I learned boxing, that's what you have to. We even had a SBG in Toronto. SBG is a gym originating in Ireland, but they have different branches. I was lucky enough to train there. Yeah. He wanted you to perform for Santi Shi, keep it up for a month, but quit. That's too crazy. I don't know what's wrong with that person. Some people, even though they're called Grandmaster, that's not the right way. Uh, is linen good? Linen is good, but it'll break easy. It's much more delicate than cotton, especially thicker cotton. My goodness, I can't even believe that that master would help you or make you do a Santi Shi for 1 hour. That's crazy. You have to start with 5 minutes. 15 minutes is already an accomplishment. To get to 1 hour, some people take a year because it's not about just forcing yourself to do it. Again, there's so many things happening. Your fascia system, your tendons, your ligaments, everything is aligning. Everything is getting much stronger. Okay, your chi, the microcosmic orbit. That is crazy. What side of the hand are you trying to condition the most? It's not about which one I do the most. I do side of the hand, back fist, wrist, and the palm. And the knuckles are already conditioned. I don't need to hit it on the granite. I already have a wooden dummy for that. And after that, I already have the cotton bag filled with gravel marble. So no, the stone is a real stone. It's just here. Someone said this is a rubber. You can see the quartz. Thank you, appreciate it, brother. But you have to understand, I get why it's behind closed doors. I understand. Because it's people want to copy it, but they don't understand there's so much more that goes into it. That's why I say check out my playlist. Get a little more educated on the topic. Yeah, 5 minutes, switch sides. 30 minimum total as a warm-up. Yeah, that's crazy, brother. I don't know. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. But look into Damdzang, okay? Standing pole meditation, or standing like a stake. That's really for trauma release, and much more. No, that's crazy. He's not a. He's. Honestly, unfortunately, there's a lot of masters or grand masters like that. They actually. They pretty much clown Westerners. If you're a Westerner, you want to learn traditional kung fu, they'll actually bring you into some harmful methods, or they'll tag you along for 20 years without even showing you anything inner door, because you're not Chinese, unfortunately. Okay, I know this sounds offensive or whatever, but this is a reality in the martial art world, unfortunately, right? So that doesn't make any sense, especially if he didn't give you medicine, because when you hit any element, you're incurring not only external damage if done improperly, you're also incurring internal damage, right? Each element, for example, stone or earth element, is associated with what? Your spleen. Okay, we have the 5 elements: earth, fire, water, iron, wood. Each element corresponds with an internal 5 organs, the 5 main yang organs: lungs, heart, kidney, spleen, liver. So in ancient times, when people hit iron right away, especially with the tips of the finger, like slapping it, over time they become blind. They lose their eyesight. He's from China, was a performer that traveled. He's legit. Yes. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's, yeah. There's many occurrences of that. There's many instances like that. So that's unfortunate that you came across that. But I'm glad that you still have the belief and the faith in that, because these methods are real. It's just you need to do them properly. I would recommend, if you want, check out my video. Start there. And if you ever want any training, I don't charge nothing close to that number, but that's unfortunate. I'm very sorry for that, because that's very common, especially when Westerners go to China. Woo, buddy. Sometimes the masters try out certain energetic things on them, and then they give them internal damage. Okay? Just to give them a subliminal, how dare you try to learn our treasure, right? Even my Sifu, he's a foreigner. He was born in Germany. He is of Syrian descent, and then he moves to Taiwan. So of course he faced those unfortunate instances until he found a right-hearted master, if you will. Yeah. This helps in real fight because bare knuckle can break easily, 100%. People, bare knuckle, brother, 8-ounce gloves can you can have boxers fracture, break your wrist, break your bones. You know, even with wraps and 10-ounce gloves. That's why it's so important to do the basic conditioning. But 100%, especially bare knuckle, that's you're very vulnerable. If you start iron palm training before you know how to punch, you're wasting your time, 100%. That doesn't make any sense. The first things you learn is fighting, striking, kicking, elbowing, punching, kneeing, grappling, right? Then you can learn some weapon systems, and then you can go into the internal arts. You don't start internal first. You have to build your body machine, your vessel, right? How are you going to have a vessel that you want to store immense energy, but the vessel is so weak, you can't even do 20 push-ups? You have that in the martial realm too. Yep, exactly. Oh yes, especially if you fill your heavy bag with sand, all that sand, this bag here, right? I had this bag since I was 14 years old. I had to duct tape it because it broke in the sand. This is when they had sand in heavy bags. Now they have foam or PVC, whatever. But this thing at the bottom, certain corners, it feels like a boulder because the sand, it seeps down and then it condenses. So if you don't have good alignment, you couldn't punch it. Yep. Thank you, Sam, man. Appreciate it. Are you trying to get your hand so hard that it could punch out a rock? No, I'm not trying to punch out a rock. You can't ever. This is a granite stone. How am I gonna beat a granite stone? We're just absorbing, okay? We're just taking something. Tony Ferguson, yeah. I don't know, Robert. It's a long weekend. I'm sorry that you're stuck in the rat race. And I'm I'm sorry that you can't start your own business. Maybe one day. Well, it's just like if you ever trained at a gym long enough, you know there's a couple weirdos that come through here and there. They wanna fight the senior student, damn near the instructor, and they wanna prove something. No different on the internet. It's actually worse because I can't see how you look like even. I can't see a video, I can't see anything when I go to your channel. So you have the liberty of just emptying your filthy mind, pretty much. No value troll. At least offer value, then I can keep you around. Yeah, I've seen a Goju Ryo master, karate master. Oh my goodness, his toe could, I don't know how he conditioned it, but his toe was like a nail. I don't even know how to describe it. He would hit it against solid hardwood. His big toe. Yeah, monkey kung fu, you're right. Unfortunately, a lot of the Goju Ryos, they have crippled hands, they have arthritis. That's how they incur that. Because they go too hard, too fast, too greedy in my opinion. They want it quicker. And they don't even have the rub, let alone the internal tincture medicine for the capillaries, the vessels, to clear the meridian channels. Actually, there is a Shaolin skill like that, but I won't do that. I'm not interested. But there is. But it's not how you think. How's it going, Henry? You can watch videos of that, Mr. I. Go on YouTube, check it out. Okay, that's good for today. Again, there's a lot more to this than meets the eye, yeah? I go for the more of the wine, not the wine, the heavier alcohol level, because of certain constituents in the herbs. Certain herbs that we're using, they're not just leaves, twigs, buds, flowers, they're barks and resins even, and they take a higher level of alcohol to dissolve those full constituents. So I actually use 40%, but if I can get it, I use 63%. So that's also something else as well. Yeah, no problem, brother. Again, guys, if you want to start Iron Palm, check out my playlist. If you want to get even educated at the basic level, check out my videos. Okay, thank you so much for today. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day.